What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the All Drink to That podcast, where we get to know a streamer over an interview by doing two things we have in common, which are going to be drinking and playing a video game. Today's guest, we're going to go ahead and do something a little different. We're going overseas with this one, and we're going to go with one of our guests that's international. He's the community manager for C2VGG, and we'll get into that a little bit, and that's going to be ChrisTheBrit. Clap it up for ChrisTheBrit, everybody.
Hi. What's up? It's me.
All right, so what's up, Chris? First and foremost, we got to start with the go-to question. What are we drinking today?
Well, we're drinking Brewdog Lost Lager. Very nice. Apparently the world's first carbon negative beer.
It sounds good.
Oh, honestly, I love this brand.
I'm drinking something new myself. It's called Phantom Bride. It's pretty good so far.
Ooh, very nice.
All right, so before we start the podcast, I'm going to give you one question to think on. So you're going to answer this question at the very end of the podcast. I'm going to give you some time to think about it. So that question is, what is the best advice that someone's given you on content creation? And what's the best advice you can give to someone new to streaming? So I'll let you think on that for a little bit while we go through the rest of the questions. And you can give me that answer at the end of it.
Cool.
So today we're going to be playing some Cold War, getting ready for Vanguard. By the time this podcast drops, then Vanguard will be out. I'm pretty excited about it. Do you plan on getting it?
I mean, like, after Cold War, decided to go back to my niche with driving games, and I might get it in the future, but at the moment it's like not really up to my standards of games.
See, I'm in the rare group of people. I really loved Cold War, but I'll preface that by saying it's the first Call of Duty game I've ever paid for. So I was never really a Call of Duty guy. I tried Warzone, loved it. And then Cold War came out relatively quickly after I tried out Warzone. So I was, I might like this Call of Duty thing. I'll give it a try. And I enjoy it.
Yeah. Like, I definitely feel that. So when my brother started playing World at War, I was like, can I play with you? And I just instantly fell in love with the COD series. So you could call me a fanboy, but then it kind of died down in a sense where it doesn't really get you excited anymore.
And I think Call of Duty in general is kind of, all games are repetitive. So if you've been playing it that long, of course it's gonna get old. So to me, it's kind of fresh still.
Yeah.
It'll die down eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So C2VGG, what does that stand for?
So it stands for Close to Victory, GG.
Nice. That's actually, I love that. I was trying to figure it out. I love that. Close to Victory, good game. I love it. And what is that about? What's some things you could tell us about that?
So, like, we are a non-toxic, brand new org, and we are basically changing the way orgs are doing stuff in the industry. So, like, we are honestly bringing more positivity and just try and, like, create a new, like, era in the same old community, which is streamers. But instead, we're going to support each other, and like, it's just like support each other, give us like positive vibes to each other, and basically, we're a close-knit family.
Nice. So I was doing a little research. I do see over there you guys do have a sponsorship with Glitch Energy and Killer Jerky. I've heard of Killer Jerky before, never tried Glitch Energy. If you had to make a sales pitch for Glitch Energy, what's the best flavor and why should I try it?
Oh, so I haven't personally tasted Glitch Energy. I know, like, I used to have G Fuel, But honestly, like looking at their supplements, like energy and
I've heard G Fuel has lead in it. Is there any truth to that?
Yes, and apparently it like causes cancer, so I wouldn't recommend it. But it like wasn't really good for me. But Glitch sounds so much better. To be honest.
And what about Killer Jerky? Have you given that one a try yet?
No, not yet, because they don't ship to the UK.
Oh, yikes. So... I've heard good things about Killer Jerky, though. I've heard it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So were you part of the org when those endorsements started? Were you part of the process, part of the negotiating process with that? Or you kind of came afterwards?
Well, like, I saw a good friend, Toxic Heat, who's like my best friend here, and he kind of like got me into them, and I was like, that company sounds awesome. It's like basically a company I want to grow with, like small, and like honestly, it's just I
forget the owner of the jerky, the Killer Jerky. I forget the owner's name, but I do follow him on Twitter. So sorry if you're watching this.
Oh yeah.
But everything he tweets seems like all positive vibes. It seems like a company I could get behind, to be honest. And he seems like a good dude. So I've been excited to try some myself. I follow quite a few of these gaming companies on Twitter, but that's one I've definitely been looking at for a while. That along with like Strategy Roasters, I've tried their product, love it. And Nick is the Way actually has been doing candy also, which I'm excited to try. What are some other things you've seen on Twitter as far as like gaming products that you're excited to try out?
Grips that I've seen on Twitter.
And the grips, what is that?
Swift grips. So compared to your normal controller, it's like a more rubbery, laster duration of Xbox grips. So they're much more. Pardon me. They're much more nicer on your thumbs.
So is it kind of like Control Freaks?
Yeah, kind of. Control Freak.
So have you heard about Twitch boosts on Twitch? Have you heard about those yet?
Yes, I have.
And what's your opinion on those? Before I give mine, I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I think it's basically like the V-button situation on Twitch at the moment. It's just basically Twitch making money of a situation that doesn't need a financial gain made out of it.
And I think it's so dumb because the one thing that we've all been complaining to Twitch about is discoverability, right? As long as I can remember, that's everybody's main complaint. Everything is amazing. Oh, excuse me. But, you know, it's impossible to get discovered. And I think it's terrible that they finally said, okay, let's do it. And then they made it a monetary thing. I think that's super dumb. And it's not solving anybody's problems. And even smaller streamers just feel like it's a dumb idea altogether.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's just basically saying, oh, you know, we just nick the follow blockers ideas and then, you know, just gain personal gain off the supporters of Twitch. And
they really make so much money. So it's like,
yeah,
they're getting every little penny they can. And then, literally, I think everybody's going to YouTube. That is bound to happen.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating making my way to YouTube just because Twitch is just on some bullshit, to be completely honest, to be transparent.
Yeah.
All right, so back to streaming. What was your beginning to streaming? What was your entry, and what's the story behind that?
My entry was like trying out on Mixer, and it was like, oh, you know, like this is fun. like I did do console streaming on Twitch. Started trying it out, and I was like, this is fun. And then of course, like Twitter was a big part of it, so I went on Twitter, and then I met someone called CJ Schultz, who is on Las Vegas Inferno's roster.
I was about to say, that name sounds familiar.
So me and him been buddies for like 3-4 years, and basically like he actually was my conflict streamer, because back 3-4 years I was like in a bad state of mind. I wasn't very clear on what I wanted to do, but he actually helped me like be the person today, and just basically been there for me.
Shouts out to CJ, man. CJ Schultz, right?
Yeah, CJ Schultz.
Do you happen to know his Twitter handle offhand?
Basically same C_J_Schultz.
All right, guys. So if you're watching this, go say shouts out to CJ and let him know he was shouted out on the podcast. So a little away from streaming, what was your first love as a video game? What was the first game that made you realize how much you love video games?
Oh, that's gotta be a tough one. So, like I previously mentioned, my brother got me into like the COD series, but it's honestly got to be Need for Speed Pro Street.
Oh, Need for Speed was a good one.
Need for Speed Undercover.
I remember playing Need for Speed. I'm gonna show my age a little bit, but on the original PSP, I used to play the Need for Speed. I forgot which one it was, but I played quite a few of them. But back in the day, in the PSP days, I was a big Need for Speed fan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then racing games. So I'm not a racing game guy at all, but if I were to give it a try, what's the game I need to play, and what's some advice you can give me on becoming decent at the game?
So there's a recent one coming out. You've probably seen me retweet it loads and just hype it up. But there's one called Forza Horizon.
Yeah, I've heard of Forza.
Like my open world game with possible, like, if you're a car guy.
Oh, it's open world?
Yeah, open world. So
nice.
Basically you can drive from one end of the map to the other, and it's just, if you're a car guy, it's every car guy's dreams of creating your own like dream car, from a Lamborghini to like a GTR.
Is there online gameplay with that also that's open world?
Yeah, you can basically cruise with your friends, so it's kind of like
Grand Theft Auto, kind of, but without killing.
Yeah, like that. And it's just one of my favorite games to just chill out on.
All right, so in your entire streaming journey, what's the best stream you ever had that you can recall? Tell me some details of that.
Oh, best stream. I think it was either... trying to think back. It's either my Rogue Company stream or my GTA 5 streams, which basically were chill.
And what was so good about those ones? You had some good, the chat was going up,
I think it was just the vibes with my friends and just not caring about what people think of my streaming skills, and just basically having fun with my friends.
And that's what it's all about, man. It's not about what some would call skills. There's people that are trying to do it professionally, which is cool. There's people that are doing it for fun. And it's like I mentioned on the last podcast also about like being a variety streamer. It's just a lot more pleasant and less stressful when you just do it for fun.
Yeah,
and don't worry so much about the money or the views or anything like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I'm basically doing it to make more friends and memories, and like hopefully basically meet the online homies who have been there for me and have helped me.
So as far as streamers go, when you're not streaming yourself, who's your favorite streamer to watch?
Oh, now that's a tough choice because like there's multiple people with excellent talents, but it's got to be
you gotta pick one.
CJ. Like, honestly, he's just so funny. Honestly, brings a smile to your face, and it's just like I come out like almost laughing in tears because of how funny like the chats are with him.
And that's my thing. I don't watch Twitch too often, but when I do, I don't really look for gameplay. I mean, of course there has to be gameplay, but I like people that can make me laugh, entertain me while I'm watching you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then of course a good chat always helps too. You know, there's people in the chat making jokes and having fun with each other, but you know that's not always the case. You know, not everybody has a very active chat. So if you could be entertaining, that's a huge plus.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's basically three main components. If you have like self-confidence, that's the main one that I love to see. Like streamers enjoying themselves, not like kind of in a sense, not caring about chat. And then second is like you said, a good chat, basically interacting with chat and just having fun. And then three, sometimes it's like a good gameplay, like either funny moments that happen in game or like some cool shot like you did in one in a million.
For me, with gameplay, if I want good gameplay, I more go to YouTube for that. Just personally, because on YouTube it's more people like explaining what they're doing to make them good. Whereas like Twitch, it's just like killer dudes who are amazing at the game, but not necessarily like, you know, doing tutorials and things like that. So if I'm gonna watch someone be good, I want it to be like a tutorial where I can learn how to do it myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree basically. Like, if you want a tutorial, then it's more YouTube based with like anything in daily life. Like either building stuff, you use YouTube for that, or basically, I don't know, I sometimes use YouTube to look up stuff. But like Twitch is more like a casual where you just want to chillax and enjoy someone.
Exactly. All right, next question. If you could pick one company, not named G Fuel, to sponsor your stream, what company would that be?
Honestly, after seeing so much about Glitch Energy, I would love to get a partner code with them and basically build kind of like a mental health kind of background flavor, and kind of like basically what they are doing is just amazing.
Definitely. So if you were a partnership manager with a company, give me 3 people that would be the first 3 people to get partner codes for you.
3 people that would get partner codes for me.
Based on their content and based on people that would represent your brand the best way.
I would say, I know I'm fanboying right now, but it's definitely got to be CJ Schultz.
No, that's your boy. It's okay. Fanboy away.
My boy. It's got to be either EXBlood, the owner of X-Volve Esports. Like, he's just a legendary owner in the esports world. And then I think the final person, underrated, and like definitely my best friend, who's like I met online, it's got to be Shelby at SalanBitchTrio1 on Twitter. But she's just basically so funny, and like honestly, if she
streams also.
No, she does OnlyFans, but like I'm trying to get her stream.
That's not where I thought this was going. All right.
Yeah. Stream on OnlyFans, but
do you get a free membership?
Now
asking the real question.
Yeah, if she's watching this, because my like internet restrictions. If I didn't have them, then I would definitely ask for one. And that would be awesome.
And for research purposes, I need that. Do you need to run that name back for me one more time?
At SalanBitchTrio1.
Got it. You know, just for research.
Oh, yeah. Make sure wife doesn't catch you.
And how did that relationship develop? How did you guys find each other and start to begin that friendship?
Well, funny enough, it was we're almost like at the end of a new year, but it was at the start of 2020 when it was like another new year where COVID was going to hit and stuff. And then basically her ex-friend and her invited me to like hang out in her friend's Discord. And then basically we kicked it off from there, and we just both enjoyed each other's company. And we basically, well, not going to spread rumors, but we kind of like fell in love with each other's company. And like, honestly,
like in a friend way.
Yeah, in a friend way. Like, she's been so supportive, and I watched her grow as a person. And like, to me, that was amazing. Just seeing someone like come back stronger.
And is she from out around England also, or is she from the States?
No, she's from the States in Pennsylvania, I think.
Oh, nice. I got some family out there.
Oh, nice. But yeah, basically, yeah, like we worked out the time zone difference, and basically it was like, honestly, staying up till about like 2-3 a.m. playing games with her.
Nice. And I don't have my phone next to me, so I don't remember the girl's name. Is that the one that replied to your tweet earlier?
Yes, about like a certain situation with people not using their brains. But yeah, she was the one.
All right, so as far as content creation, whether it's on Twitch or if you start streaming on YouTube or wherever life takes you, what's your end goal? What's your biggest goal with your content creation?
I think my end goal is to spread awareness of mental health and to basically create a community to enjoy one and each other's company, to just like vibe with.
And would you eventually want to start an org on your own that would involve that, maybe?
I think, honestly, like, since ChrisTheBrit is brand new, I would like to stay with them because they're like basically the owner, Nicesson, or I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he's been like basically, me and him both have the same goals, and I think that's the perfect org for me.
And maybe that'd be something that you don't want to change the org, but maybe that could be one of the main ideals of the org in the long run.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
I just got someone from range with my street sweep. I love this.
Nice. I know, same. I'm like 3 kill streak.
The last game I kind of went off. I kind of really good. But okay, so back to the content. So YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook gaming, which was the best and why?
Honestly, for the current situation, for my preferences and my streaming, I would have to say, from seeing everything, it's got to be YouTube. Like, at the moment, Facebook gaming, they kind of would like, oh, Twitch and YouTube making money. Why don't we do it? But I think they stepped into it, like, a bit too far. And they rushed into it too quickly.
And with YouTube, I don't know what it is, because I have a YouTube channel. So I'm already on there. It's just, something is just scaring me to make the jump to stream on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And Twitch is just like a comfort blanket. I already know it. I already do it. And they treat me like shit, but I still want to keep doing it. And I don't know why, but I'm scared.
Yeah, I get that. So at the moment with console streaming, I just wish they kind of like had different platform. And then kind of
go
easier
ahead.
for us Xbox streamers.
So being from England, is it normally hard to find teammates to game with, or is it like the time change? Is it easier on your end, or do you just play at crazy hours to compensate?
I think for me, I kind of like playing alone, but also love playing like with other people. So I try and like find people to game with, and I don't mind staying up. It just depends like what.
Because you're 8 hours ahead of us, I believe, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that'd be pretty rough. Because I know me personally, I play my games around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So on your end, that'd be like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, nobody wants to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to play Call of Duty. I mean, some people do, but I would call those people weird.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
So what's your next upgrade for your stream? What's your next, when you have the money saved up, what's your next thing you want to upgrade?
I think next thing I want to upgrade and try and do is like PC. So at the moment I've got a like crappy CPU, AMD 10, bottom line CPU, but I would like to get more into PC streaming so I can like stream Euro Truck Simulator and like other PC games and actually join my friends on PC.
Are you a tech guy, or are you gonna be like me and just buy a stock PC that you hope works well enough?
I think what I will do, because I'm kind of like interested in tech, so what I'll do is research for PC and then make adjustments to it.
Yeah, because the one I bought is definitely, it's upgradable. You could take it apart and upgrade it, but I just don't know nearly enough about it.
Oh yeah, definitely agree.
I think I spent like $900 on it, and I was like, this should do. Hopefully. Looking back, I kind of wish I built my own, but I just don't really have the knowledge of it.
Same. Like, for the one I'm running, it cost back then, about 3 years ago, or 4 years, it was like 1,500.
Oh, that sounds like it should run fine to me.
Yeah, but like, of course, when you look into it, they kind of cheaped out on parts. So the CPU cooler I upgraded. the power PCSU. I upgraded the graphics card. I upgraded. So basically, I made it kind of run better than it did, and how I wanted it to.
And what's your favorite a piece of equipment that you have right now? I see you got that, the HyperX microphone, right? I believe that's what that is.
Yes, that's a HyperX, but I think my favorite piece of equipment is definitely my Alexa.
Oh, nice.
Just, like, so amazing. And
right now, I use the Elgato Wave microphone, but I've been seriously debating making the switch to the HyperX.
Oh, honestly, the HyperX, like, if you have, so I got this for 116 quid. This is just simple microphone, so excellent. Like, you can mute it by tapping top, and like, honestly, it's one of the best microphones out there. So shout out HyperX if you ever watch this. Like, thank you for creating such a easy microphone to use.
All right. Oh man, this was a good beer. I'm loving it. This is my first time trying it.
Same.
So normally I ask, what is the origin behind your username? But that seems pretty self-explanatory. But is there more to it besides your name being Chris and you being from England?
I think really it was like I think I wanted to like have uniqueness with my name, so I would like, you know, like I used to get called Christian, but now I'm like I want to be called Chris a lot. So basically I shortened my name. And then, of course, some people think I'm American. So, like, it's basically our DMs earlier. You thought
honestly, because just based on just your profile picture, I would have never guessed. And just everybody says Americans think everything's about them, which is kind of true sometimes. But everybody I talk to, I assume, is from here. So it wasn't until I went back to your profile and saw under your bio, I was like, oh, yikes.
Oh, yeah. So, basically, that's one thing that I needed to basically build a brand so everyone knows that I'm British-based, so people don't get confused. Like, some people still do, but it's basically ChrisTheBrit, but not in capital letters, because that'd be over the top. But basically where I come from. And then the one is basically there was an inactive account who didn't have the one. So basically I chose one as it's kind of like I'm going to be the first like chronic disease, like my disability is weird, but basically be the first disabled streamer to create a new era of communities.
And do you know any other gamers who suffer from disabilities that you're close with?
Honestly, like, of course, because of social anxiety, like, I have never really gotten bonded with some people, but I know some people have the, like, autism traits and then like have the ADHD. I would love to like get to know people who have like rarer like me chronic disease which affect them day to day.
And if you don't mind me asking, what is your disability and what are some things people might not know about it?
So it's a micro deletion in the chromosome 16th. Long ass name, so I just call it like micro deletion. And what it does basically, like, as a normal person can like think properly, for me it like takes time to process. Plus, like, so remembering to eat, remembering to wash, but I have gotten better at that. And also physical, so if you see that, the 3 joints down here are like growing together, so like I don't like have full function of that hand. And this one, they said, could be the same in the future. So in the future, I could end up with basically fists because of how my hands are.
Got it. And not to make everything about gaming, because, you know, life's a lot bigger than gaming, but how does that affect your gaming? Like, does it make it significantly harder? Or are there ways, are there tricks you found around it to kind of get past it?
So on keyboard, it like kind of freezes up my hand. So it's kind of like playing piano. I sometimes do it like one hand or the good hand, use the good hand. And sometimes, so at the moment, I'm like using the trigger fingers, but for driving games, if I need shift up, sometimes it's like quite difficult to use both buttons. So I sometimes have to adjust my grip to make it work.
So keyboard and mouse is definitely, that's a no-go. But Xbox controllers, well, I haven't tried the new Xbox controller, but from my experience, Xbox controllers are bigger than PlayStation controllers, huh? So wouldn't that make it a little bit more difficult also?
So in real life, basically, my friend has an old, like, original Xbox, and basically...
And those are huge. The Xbox, the original Xbox controllers are huge.
So basically, every time we played, I used to have the smaller ones because of my hands.
Oh, like the Mad Cat ones, like the off-brand ones that were a little bit smaller?
I think they were like the original Xbox small controllers. But basically, because I couldn't physically hold it because it was so big, I needed the small ones to just work with my hands.
And having that disability, what are some things you wish more people knew that might not be too common, that just to spread the awareness on it?
I think it's just, so one of the things I'm trying to do is like spread communication needs. So for me, it's quite hard to communicate because like I have a speech impediment from it. Like sometimes it's hard to notice, but sometimes like I stutter my words. I can't like say stuff. Can't say my T's or like certain letters, but like basically repeating stuff would help me a lot.
Now, you're repeating stuff like in your head, or do you have to actually physically say it multiple times to get it?
Physically say it so people understand what I'm saying. Got
it. I'm gonna link you to one of my buddies. His name's Dill Pickle. You might know him. I don't know. He also has like a speech impediment, and I love how he works through it so confidently to the point where you can still notice it, but his confidence shows so much through it. And that's somebody I think you would love to see one of his streams.
Oh yeah, so me and Dill were ex-teammates.
Oh really? So you do know him?
Yeah. So we were both on...
Okay, so I can leave that in. Awesome.
Yeah. We were both Eastern Media GG teammates. Like, we both left because they were a bit toxic. Like, no offense, but they weren't good for us. And basically, he is, and he still was, one of my biggest inspirations to like battle my basically daily battle with my not inspiration, my disability, and basically push myself towards the goals I want without letting my disability affect me.
Yeah, because the first time I follow him on Twitter for quite some time, and the first time I ever heard him speak, I never checked any of his streams or anything, but he did an interview with Nick is the Way from Strategy Roasters, and like I said, I could definitely tell it was there, but he spoke with so much confidence that it was something I love seeing. The same way with you, I would say until you said something, I wouldn't have noticed. And that's me being completely honest, not trying to be super nice. Until you said something, I would have never noticed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I also want to say about disability. Like, it's not all, like, visual or, like, physically you can see it. Like, sometimes you do need to ask someone if you do have it. And that's the thing I want, like, more people to be aware of. Like, either you're disabled or you're not. Just, like, ask people if you want. Basically, ask people to say, do you have a disability and how can I help you?
So if someone were to ask you something, like, that's not something that's offensive to you?
Yeah.
So that's something you want to be more of an open discussion?
Yeah, definitely, because for me, growing up, I realised that instead of hiding my problems, use it to, like, benefit my life better and actually make a positive impact. And actually explain people how my brain works and basically help them get a better understanding how, like, my life works.
Yeah, because if everybody has a better understanding and is more open talking about the subject, it just creates a more comfortable environment for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, like, Joe Biden has a speech impediment, and I think like I would say, try and sound like not too harsh, but I would love him to, like, speak about it more. Or
yeah, because I've never heard him say anything about it.
Oh yeah, like, you do notice it in his speeches. He does sometimes stutter, but, like, I would love him to be spreading more awareness about, like, kindness to disabled people, and also world leaders actually caring about us, because a lot of world leaders do not care about us. So recently on the news, so over here we have a thing called universal credit, which is a benefit, and basically if you're disabled or unable to work, you get amount of money for that. And recently,
there's something similar over here also.
Yeah, they cut, like, 20 quid a week. So, like, that's a massive amount of money if you think about it. Like, we only get about 300 a month. So, like, that goes into food shops. Like, for me, food shops, if I do food shopping, like, bills. So I pay my gym subscription with that. So 139 of that goes to my gym. And then, like, 17 quid goes to Xbox. So I do sometimes have to think, do I have to buy a toy car? Or do I have to, like, save it and actually try not, like, get temptations from all these online ads and stuff saying, come buy this.
All right, so let's go back to the question that I originally asked you at the beginning. what was the best advice that anyone's ever given you for your content creation? And what was some advice you could give to someone up and coming?
I think the best advice is, like, do not let toxic people change the way you behave, because I realized that back then when I interacted with a certain individual, that actually like made me not me at all. That was like a completely different person, and I just lost saying I lost because I don't know them IRL, but it kind of made me lose a lot of people who I thought I was close to, just because I changed my mindset. And then the advice I give to people is, like, if you're disabled, like, please use your weaknesses as your strengths. I don't care if you're, well, I do care, but I don't care if you're in a wheelchair or if you like can't move like your body or you have social anxiety. Use those strengths to like create art or like spread a positive message, because what's holding like you back, and what I found personally is, like, if you push yourself, you can achieve goals. And like, so back 2 years ago, I started gym. I couldn't even lift a like 10 kilo dumbbell, but now I'm like squatting 80 kilos on my back, and like I'm now like a bodybuilder. I am now like, I was skinny back then, and like I am now like more stronger than I have ever felt before. And
flex the guns for everybody. We all want to see it. There we go.
You want the guns? There we go. And that's basically 2 years of reminding myself that at the end of the day, you have got to make the decision, because no one else has to like make you choose the choice.
I love that advice. To add on to it, I think a lot of people are afraid to show their any disability, any social disability, any mental illness like anxiety, because they're so afraid that people are gonna come down on them. Whereas in my experience, it might be easy for me to say, but I feel like 90% of people, if they see you push through that, they're gonna be super supportive. Whereas, you know, there are gonna be a ton of people that are gonna be scumbags and post mean comments, but I think a good majority of people are gonna be super supportive. And I think once you get out there and do it, you're gonna see that. And that's just adding on to what you said.
So, going a bit off topic here, but like, I've seen your podcast with Senile Panda, a very good friend of mine who's like amazing. But as a question to you, as a black man, like, do you still have anxiety of stepping outside and like having that anxiety, like one day someone will kind of like
to be completely honest, there's a lot of situations where, like, not to say I forget that I'm black, but you know, you just don't think about it. But there are quite a few situations, like this is a meme, but it's complete truth. When I walk out of a retail store, I'm afraid the alarm's gonna go off, because knowing I didn't steal anything and I've never stolen anything, if the alarm goes off, they're gonna assume the worst. Or Not to say all cops are bad cops. I did have an altercation with a cop where I did fear for my life. Where I got pulled over for God knows what, because he gave me multiple things. First, he told me my tags were expired. No, first he said I was swerving. The first thing he said when he comes, like, were you texting? I said no. He said, are you drinking? And I said no. He said, okay, because you were swerving through the lane, like you were kind of drifting. And told him, I said, you know what? I do apologize about that. Wasn't aware that I was, but I apologize. Then he said, do you mind if I search your vehicle? Which kind of seemed, kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I mean, I guess, go ahead. And he tore everything out of my glove box, my middle console. Didn't find anything. And thank God he didn't plant anything in my car, worst case scenario. But also, while this is all happening, I'm sitting in the back of a cop car while he's doing it. And I'm kind of just like, why is it necessary for me to be in a cop car? Why is it necessary for you to search my car when, like, supposedly I was drifting into lanes? And then the whole time I'm sitting in the cop car, I'm just like, I really hope this doesn't escalate, And he let me go and said, oh yeah, your tags were expired, so make sure your tags are up to date. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I checked my tags. My tags weren't expired. And I was like, well, first you said I was swerving in the lane, and now you're saying you pulled me over because my tags were expired, which they weren't. So, yeah, but to make a long story short, everyday life, I'm not afraid to be black, but there are situations on a pretty normal basis where it does cause social anxiety. Like I said, small things like when I hear cop sirens, when a cop turns the sirens on anywhere in my vicinity, I assume they're pulling me over. When I'm walking in the retail store, I'm terrified that the alarm would go off. Yeah. And that's just something I got to live with. But yeah, that was a good question, actually.
Yeah, you're welcome. I just, because I have so many, like, friends, like, I have one IRL who is, like, has a black and white parent, and, like, growing up, I always, like, kind of surrounded by white people, but I always, like, hanged out with the, like, lower class people, but, like, they were always nice to me, so I kind of, like, want to give back to their communities.
Yeah.
Basically being nice to me, because I love them. Like, I love what they do. So one content creator, I love Smoke, because he's honest and he's just honestly inspirational, because he doesn't give a fuck about anything. And I think more people really, like, could use, like, that attitude towards life.
Yeah, definitely. There's no need to hold back your opinions and just be brutally honest sometimes. I definitely get that.
Yeah.
So the very, very, very last question on the podcast, but your answer to this question, you have to help me get this person.
Okay.
Who is somebody that you think we should have on the All Drink to That podcast?
Ooh, that's a tough choice.
And whoever you pick, you have to help me get them to come on.
There's so many people, but it's got to be like a Bud Light fanboy and someone who I mentioned quite a lot in this podcast. It's got to be CJ, my boy, Cody. Like, I would like to get his view on, like, the Minnesota riots when they happened. Like, honestly.
Oh yeah, that'd be good questions.
My inspiration, and I would like to basically give him a chance to, and also get to know him a little bit more.
and get some insight on the league play. There's a lot of good things to hear from that. So I'm gonna need you to one, send me his Twitter, and two, I'm gonna need you to slide in his DMs for me, and and try and get him to come on.
Oh hell yeah! I'll do that definitely.
All right, so I'm gonna put all your links in the description, but for the audio listeners, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Twitch, ChrisTheBrit1, on Twitter at ChrisCloud99, or even if you want to play a game with me on Xbox, ChrisTheBrit192.
All right, everybody go follow my boy on Twitch. Get my boy to 100 followers. Let's get it.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming by, man.
Appreciate you too. Thank you for having me, and God bless.